Welcome back, Sethfling here. In the 12-week 32 snapshot, Mojang added some really cool features to Minecraft. In this video I'm going to specifically cover the command block and some cool prototyping I did with that. So if I put down the command block and I right click, I can add a command to it, and when the command block receives power, if you look in my chat you can see it said hi. That's the command I put in. So you can do all kinds of commands with this. So what I did is I threw together a little sample prototype, kind of proof of concept for a control point game with classes. So let me just show you that. I'll select Scout as my class. The other options are Heavy, Sniper, Pyro, and Soldier. I selected Scout. I'll stand on this pressure plate to indicate that I'm ready. You can imagine this would be a huge spawn area with multiple places for people to indicate their chosen class and to stand on a pressure plate, so that when everyone stands on their pressure plates, they all indicate that they're ready. So when I stand on the pressure plate, I'll get a stone sword that goes along with the Scout class, and you might have heard a potion splash. I also got a speed effect for 6 minutes. This actually, somewhere in there, my spawn also got reset. So if I kill myself, like pretending like an enemy killed me somehow, maybe they shot me, I'm actually going to respawn right back here, and I will also, normally you would lose your potion effects, and you would also lose all your items. There's a special command that you can use that'll change the game rules around for the entire world so that everyone will keep their items when they die. So I'm going to keep my items, and I'm also going to get a new splash potion. And I'll show you how all this is done later. So I've still got all my items here. I've got my stone sword that came with the class. I've got my speed 6 potion, speed for 6 minutes potion. So I'm really ready to go here again. So that's the class part. If I come in here, I already have the brick control point, but if I get the wood control point here, and then an opponent kills me, so I've already captured that control point, I'll respawn, get that speed potion again, back up to 6 minutes, and I'm in the wood room rather than back in the brick room, and I can move up here, capture the iron control point, and if I get killed again by an opponent, it'll sort of save my progress. I'm in the iron room. If the opponent pushes and manages to capture the wood control point back for their team, and I die, I'll go back and respawn at the wood control point. Each time I'm keeping my sword and my speed effect. So now if I push through and actually step on this pressure plate, which is the objective to win the game, it'll end the game, and I'll go back to the main spawn area where I chose my class and everything. And it said you win down in the chat. And so now at this point if I die, I'm not going to go back into the game room, I'm just going to go back into the spawn. And I'm not going to get my speed effect or anything. And I'll still have my sword, but yeah, so then if I want to start a new game, a second game, say I want to select Heavy for my class, step on this pressure plate, indicate I'm ready, I'll get a diamond sword instead, and I'll have a strength 2 potion effect. And I can do all the same things. If I capture the iron point here and then die, I will keep my diamond sword, and I'll have that strength 2. And I can come over here and win the game again. So this is just, again, obviously this isn't a game unto itself, but it's a prototype to show what's possible. Here's everything, all the circuitry and everything behind it. So let me show you sort of what's going on. If I break away some of this sandstone, we can see that each of these levers sort of hooks up to a little gate here. Basically, when I step on the pressure plate, one of these 2 command blocks will get activated. This one for Scout and this one over here for Heavy. And I just didn't implement the other 3 classes. They were just for show, I guess, but you could easily do it. So that'll happen, and plus a dispenser goes off. So this dispenser goes off if you select Scout. That's got the stone swords in it, and this dispenser, might be kind of hard to find it. Here we go. This dispenser with the diamond swords goes off if you choose Heavy when you indicate that you're ready. And it's just a very simple AND gate there. So, but the command that goes off is different for these 2. They're just 2 teleport commands. It uses the TP. You can use @P to indicate the player that is at this spawn point. And then there's a set of coordinates. And then this one, if you look, is just a little bit different. Actually, if you look in my chat log, you can see that the coordinates are slightly different, just in the Z coordinate. And so basically, you saw how you got the different weapons when you selected different classes. Here's how you get the different potion effects and how it saves your class, basically. If you get the let's see, which one is this? This is the heavy class. If you choose the heavy class, it'll teleport you into this little box. And if you get the scout class, it'll teleport you into the green one. So at the bottom of this one, there's a pressure plate. So if you choose the scout class, that pressure plate will trigger this, which gives you the splash potion of swiftness. And it also triggers 2 command blocks. The first one sets your spawn point back into this exact position. Sets it just above the pressure plate so that you'll fall onto the pressure plate. And when you do respawn, you'll trigger that dispenser again. And you'll get your speed potion. So whenever you when you at the beginning of the game, you'll get your spawn point set, and actually each time you respawn, you'll also trigger this again and get your spawn point set. And then after it does that, it sends you off to sort of your team's communal spawn point. So that is this gold one over here. And the commands are very similar for this one. This one sets your spawn point inside the orange box, and then teleports you over again to the exact same spot in this gold box down here. And this one you get the strength potion instead of the speed potion, obviously. Now, when you get teleported in here, there is a little bit more complicated circuitry here, but basically this is a selector. So when the game starts, it manually presses the brick pressure plate for you to reset your spawn back to the very first brick room, and so this torches off when the game starts. And basically what this does is it selects which spawn point you go to. So when you get teleported in here, whichever torches off is the command that's going to run. So this will teleport you to the brick room, whereas this one teleports you to the wood room, and this one teleports you to the iron room. And so whenever at the beginning of the game, when you get teleported over here, or whenever you respawn also, you'll get teleported into this gold room, and that will use one of these 3 blocks to teleport you from the gold room into the appropriate room over here. So again, when you start the game, this torch is off, and that says to teleport you to the brick room. But then if you do capture the wood room, now we can see the middle torch is off. And if you capture the iron room here, then the third torch is off here, and so that'll indicate which room to teleport you to. So if everybody on your team has a different class and different spawn points within those, they'll still get teleported to this single point in order to decide which actual spawn point to send the player to. So that's a pretty cool way of doing kind of a capture point thing, and you would also want to have a similar one of these for the other team, obviously. Actually, everything would be pretty much duplicated for the other team. And then so when you want to capture this one and win the game, that'll actually execute 3 different commands. This one will set the spawn point back to your team's spawn area. This one will teleport you to the spawn area so that you'll immediately get sent there, and this one just says you win, and that's what we saw before. So that's all there is to it. It's a series of command blocks, and it works to capture classes and control points and the spawns that go along with those control points. I may be creating an actual full game out of this rather than just a prototype. I think there's a lot of potential there. One other thing that I have over here is if you notice from time to time the time's been getting set to 1000. And that's just because I have a minecart that periodically falls through all this webbing, just runs over this detector rail and hits this command block and runs right back up to the top and just falls through the web again. So every 5 minutes or so the command block goes off and sets the time to day because I got annoyed with having to constantly set the time to day. So in a minute or two that'll happen again, and this is something I'm going to be putting everywhere because I like it to be daytime all the time when I'm working. And you can also use like weather clear and then 1,000,000 to clear your weather for 1,000,000 seconds, which is like many days. So that's a really cool feature too, because I also hate it when the weather changes. I don't like having to interrupt what I'm doing to turn off the weather. So there's a bunch of new commands, and I think you could probably look on the Minecraft wiki to see all the commands you can use. There's a lot of things you can do, changing the game rules, so you can turn on and off like mob spawns, and like whether or not blocks drop items when they get broken, and you can change the player's game mode, and there's just a ton you could do with these command blocks that really enable people to make minigames, and this is just sort of a little bit more complicated of a use, and you can see that minecart just went through. A little bit more complicated of a use, and allows you for a bit more complicated behavior, which I think is really cool. You can actually have like a Team Fortress style push map on this, and man, that's just really cool with classes and everything. Get those potion effects. Keep your items when you die, so that your opponent doesn't get to take your items. I think that's actually the biggest benefit of the feature where you can have players keep items when they die, so that if you have a bunch of valuable items, when your opponent kills you, they're not going to get to take all those items and sort of like gain a new class, because that wouldn't really make any sense. So I'm really looking forward to all the new things you can do with command blocks. This is just one little taste. There's going to be a lot more coming out with this. So hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. If you want to download this world right here, you can download it from the link in the video description. And thanks for watching.